Over the past few years, we've been on a journey to modernize how we build and scale intelligent systems at Walmart. That journey started with solving specific problems, one tool at a time. As our needs evolved, so has our ecosystem. And today, we have hundreds of tools tackling everything from accessibility, infrastructure, and experimentation. Given the Gen AI world that we're in, some of these tools gave way to agents as well. But one thing we all know is with growth comes complexity. Multiple tools, each solving a different problem, quickly became overwhelming. So we made a deliberate choice to go beyond individual tools and build a unified company-wide framework to solve these complex problems. And that's why I'm here to present. I'm super excited to present Wibey. It's a super agent that redefines how technologists interact with Walmart's ecosystem. Now, what is Wibey? Is it a tool that developers can use to find and use agents? Yes. Is it a platform that engineers can use to build agentic systems? Absolutely. Is it a safe space for everyone to experiment with agentic capabilities while staying compliant? You bet. It's all of the above. Before Wibey, these capabilities lived in separate places. Now, we have how they have come together in one powerful platform. Wibey is fast, it is context-aware, and designed to meet users where they are, whether they are in command line, visual editors, messaging tools, or any other platform that they already use. What makes Wibey useful is that it is built for both builders and non-builders as well. Builders as in developers, system engineers, any technologist who wants to build agentic systems, APIs, and workflows, it caters to their needs. It is also built for non-builders like project managers, program managers, product managers, and frankly, anyone who wants to use those agents to get their job done. Now, this distinction is key. It is not a tool just for developers. It is for anyone who wants to interact with Walmart's Walmart's ecosystem and get their job done with technology. It is designed to augment and enable existing workflows, making work faster, more connected, and more intelligent. Now, this marks a fundamental shift in how we think about building and operating software. We are moving really from a world where everything is manually orchestrated to intelligent systems so that we can focus on more important things that matter to us. The Wibey is the interface that makes all of this possible. Now, while Wibey is the interface, it is powered by something deeper. It is powered by our machine learning and AI platform called Element. Many of you may have heard about it in the media in the past. It is what enables agentic development at scale, providing the governance, observability, and automation that makes Wibey reliable and trustworthy. And we have released new capabilities as well that are designed specifically for agent-based intelligence, including agent-aware pipelines, stateful architectures, and standardized communication protocols, to name the few. Element isn't just about abstracting complexity, it is about enabling innovation without sacrificing compliance, efficiency, or control. As we move into a world where everyone is either building or using agents, Element ensures that we can do so safely, quickly, and consistently. With that, I'd like to invite Daljeet and Hema to join me on stage. These are two engineers who are working directly with both Wibey and Element to share their perspectives on how these innovations are driving precision, agility, and adaptability. Daljeet and Hema, thanks for joining. Daljeet and Hema, thanks for joining me on the stage here. Now, let's start with the shift on how building software is changing. We have moved from a model-centric approach to an agent-centric approach. What are some of the pivots that we needed to make in order to make this transition possible?
Yeah, so before Wibey, we built DX, which is a platform that helped technologists, developers discover tools through documentation. So it was a big step forward, as you know, but really it still required manual effort to go find the right tool for your requirement or your need. Now, with Wibey, we shifted it from discovery to delegation. Before, AI was able to help you with us, but now AI is able to help you with tasks. That is a very big mindset shift that we see. What happens is that now we can focus on a lot of complex use cases. With use cases, we started building for workflows, and workflows that are multi-step, where you can actually have multiple agents collaborating to do the task which developers can invoke, or we can invoke on behalf of the developers. And really what we need to do there is, how do we manage context, how do we manage memory, and how do we remove the ambiguity for developers using intelligent routing. So let me give you an example. Before Wibey, when I had to build a node application, let's say I am trying to build a new application, the way I would do that is I would go on DX, which is the platform, to find things, and I would find the starter kit, I will create the boilerplate code, but I still had to go modify a lot of things. But with Wibey, this all can be very dynamic. We can actually delegate this to Wibey, which can actually dynamically generate the starter kit code, almost selecting the components you want a la carte style, but then also you can upload, let's say, a PRD or a requirement document, and it can come back with some basic business logic as well. From here, the developer can actually go and start modifying and writing the business logic or developing the features that are really needed. So this is where I think the biggest shift that we see is that we want to give agency to agentic AI, but also we want to manage some control, and that's where we utilize a lot of element capabilities to do the governance and compliance.
I love the part about giving agency to agents and reducing the cognitive load for developers. Hema?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you, Sravana, for having us here, and a very good morning to all of you. And I appreciate that you all came in person and not sent your agents here. So yeah, coming back to the question, we did have a shift in terms of how the platform evolved from model-centric to agent-centric, because we had to now manage from stateless models to more multi-component systems that are intelligent. So definitely there was a conscious shift. For instance, models did not have memory, but agents needed to remember like what they did just now, what past actions they took, and they used this context to kind of decide what to do next. And I think in today's session as well, like Nandan and Suresh were talking about, AI creates magic by connecting these systems together. And at the ground level, Element had to look at how these agents were able to pass context very effectively between each other. So we had to have the entire traceability of all of the interactions that the agent has with, say, models, tools, or other agentic systems. This is very critical. So that was one pivot. And then we also had to build systems that looked at monitoring very differently. Like with models, the monitoring was a black box monitoring. Like we had to look at the output of the model, say accuracy or. But with agents, it is different. They have the ability to surprise you. They create new plans, they make decisions, they connect with new tools, and then they pass different context. So it becomes very important for us to build these monitoring systems that lets us go and see those behaviors and not just the final outcome. So these were some of the pivots that we did from the platform side.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so with agents, you're dealing with a lot more dynamic world, and you have to be able to evaluate the performance, which becomes much harder than with traditional ML models. And so taking a platform-centric approach actually makes it possible for us. Now, Daljeet, what would you say makes Wibey such a powerful super agent? And can you also share how Wibey has accelerated the way we are building technology?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. So I would say Wibey definitely fast, easy to use, but the most important thing is agentic, right? And developers today, technologists today want AI everywhere, and Wibey delivers on that expectation and meets them where they are. So whether they are working on, let's say, CLI, IDE, Slack, Teams, you name it, right, or even web, Wibey will meet them there and help them with whatever task they are trying to accomplish. What happens then is that it actually, you can avoid context switching. You can take away the cognitive load from developers, and also you can automate a lot of repetitive tasks, so then developers can actually focus on the best part of their job, which is really to build features for Walmart customers.
Yeah, great points, Daljeet. It's been fun for me to watch, the team develop these things and evolve over a period of time. Now, Hema, Element has been a foundational part of our AI journey, and it is something that we've been developing for a while now. How is it enabling us to innovate at scale while staying compliant, efficient, and more importantly, responsible?
Yes. So Element has been purpose-built for the exact same reasons that you called out, right? So to make developers move fast, stay efficient, innovate responsibly, and at scale. With Walmart, you can't forget scale. So let me give a few examples. Today, all developers in Walmart actually have access to the latest models, both open source or provider models via Element. They can experiment very quickly, spin up prototypes, everything within a very safe and controlled environment within Element. And we also provide agent starter kits that get developers started right away. So with all the plumbing in place to leverage existing enterprise solutions. Now, how cool is that for a developer who has to work on new technologies every single day? And while doing all of this, we also built Element with, by design, it has been multi-cloud, which means we are able to run these agentic workloads across private and public clouds as well. And Element does this efficiently using a workload placement recommender, which optimally places these workloads across different clouds. So by abstracting all of these complexities from developers, it lets the developer focus on solving the problem and not just managing the infrastructure. And while we also let developers move fast, we also ensure, like you rightly said, they develop responsibly as well. So any agentic application that is deployed today in Walmart actually goes through Element's guardrails, controls, and we continuously monitor these agents and models in production. So at any point in time, if a developer wants to know exactly what action an agent took, it is possible. We are able to provide that visibility to developers. So they are able to understand agent behaviors, make modifications to improve them, give them feedback based on their actions and so on. And all of this, like you rightly said, Element has been able to be a part of this innovation journey of Walmart, primarily because we developed Element with a platform mindset. We were able to rapidly evolve as AI evolved. Element was a mature development and deployment platform for traditional models. When LLMs came in, we did not have to reinvent everything. We already had a very robust automated MLOps pipeline that we leveraged for deploying and hosting all the open source models very quickly for our developers. And we built the LLM gateway on top of our existing platform, which provided a unified interface for all the developers to access diverse provider models. And we were able to implement governance controls and cost efficiencies at scale at that layer. So all of this has been possible. And when agents came in as well, we leveraged the same controls we did for models and traditional models, and we were able to evolve for agents. So all of this has been possible because we developed Element with a platform mindset, and I think that is what makes us ready for what's coming next. And because Wibey has been built on top of Element, I'm sure it is actually inheriting all of our foundational capabilities. It is going to be powerful, scalable, reliable.
Yeah, excellent, Hema. So long held the view that platforms are what power products, and kudos to you and the team for envisioning and building Element as a platform, because that mindset is what is allowing us to extend to agentic world and leverage all the new technologies and so forth. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your insights and experience on both Daljeet, Wibey, and Element, Hema. So what we've seen today marks a pivotal shift from building tools to building intelligent systems that work alongside us. With Wibey and Element, we're not just accelerating development, we're simplifying complexity, empowering teams, and setting a new standard for how we build at Walmart. Thank you all for your attention and being part of our story.
Thank you.